again, welcome to this release. We are happy that you are here. Today I have my colleague Verena with me.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who will lead you through the live demo. Okay, then let's dig right in. Today's agenda, of course, we will show you a quick overview regarding this release. Then Verena will entertain us with the live demo. And as always, in the end, we will do a quick question and answer session. As usual, you can type your questions in the chat window at any time. It will be saved. And in the end, I will read the questions and we are happy to answer them. All right, then let's begin.
Thank you, Nina, for the brief introduction. So today we have our release for 2023.2. And we prepared 5 different things for you that I will present to you in short, and I will then show you in our control center 2 things a little bit more in detail. And the first thing is that we have enhanced our traffic model with new classes. So vulnerable road users are always a critical thing in cities and traffic behavior, and when it comes also to safety. In response to this growing popularity of scooters as a means of commuting in the city, we have enhanced our model to this additional class. So that means we have now micro-mobility classes existing, the pedestrians that we already had, bicycles that we already had, and scooters as an additional class. More than that, we also added trams as an early availability feature. So it's an important form of public transportation in many cities. And for us, it's an answer that is especially designed for traffic control prioritization of trams. So by saying that, we are going smarter with our traffic and parking model. And we are always happy to receive also feedback from your end when you want to have or when you have the need for any additional classes there. The second point that we improved for you to be smart and to stay affordable in also times where everything is more cost intensive and so on. We implemented an, again, early availability feature of multi-tenancy hosting. So, in order to keep our price level, we improved several things here in the hosting, and we want to utilize our services a little bit better for you. That means that you will have still your isolated data storage, but I will tell you a little bit more in detail about this multi-tenancy hosting later on in one specific slide for that. The third thing that we have is also something that wants to build a little bit more trust in us. We want to be really transparent with our licenses. So you can see in your control center, in a specific administration interface that I will show you later on in our control center, which licenses you currently have with their specific invoice numbers, validity dates, to really give you more transparency over this and to have no more surprises in any upcoming renewals or anything else that you bought from our side. So the fourth thing that we have is to, again, something for our trustworthiness, what we want to build with you. We enhanced our traffic models and we focused on stability and robustness. So what did we improve? We concentrated of augmentations, and therefore we were able to concentrate on different weather conditions and to improve also our accuracy, to improve our pictures, to improve our model when it comes to them. This results in a reliable performance, and we always want to improve the confidence and to increase the confidence that you have into us and our solution. And last but not least, we are ready to support NVIDIA Jetpack 5.1. So that's the series of NVIDIA Jetson O-Ring. That's the new generation that is now on the market and which enables especially our VPX partners, so the virtual perception licenses partners, to use those Jetson devices and to get a little bit faster and to compute more streams on your devices itself. Okay, that was from my end the overview, and now let's have a deep dive into our different features and what is new in this release. So the first thing that we want to show you is that we really can detect scooters and trams, of course. So on the left-hand side, you can see our colleagues, Tobias and Sandro, I think. Yeah. They are commuting around with the scooter, and we have a real stable track within the focus areas about the scooters. So this is the first showcase that we want to give you to see that, okay, we can definitely detect scooters, and this is something where you can benefit of. On the right-hand side, you see a picture, or actually a GIF of a tram. And as it is a little bit dark, you might not see the bounding box there, but in the counting lines, you see that it is scaling up, and we are detecting trams as well there. Okay, so in the meantime, I want to mention again, I already see that we have some questions coming in. Keep on going, just type them in the chat, we will answer them later and go to the specific details when it's needed.
Thank you.
Okay, as I told you before we deep dive into our control center and the changes there, I want to give you a little bit of overview about our multi-tenancy hosting. So basically, this is one step towards a seamless update process that we want to give you in future. So for now, it's an early availability feature. We already contacted some of our partners to really use it and to really profit of it. And we will come to the others as well, because we are doing really a staged rollout depending on the different devices that you have and what you're using it for. So when we go from when we go around the circle, first of all, you can see that we guarantee you an efficient use of the cloud resources. So the multi-tenancy hosting ensures that you can efficiently allocate and utilize our cloud resources in the background. And this results also in a faster operation and a faster platform that you can use them. So on the next slide, you can see that we also give you the opportunity to have flexible sub-instances. So that means when you have customers or end users or cities that really need their extra instance or the extra access, we can allocate this to you. So please come to us and tell us if there is any need from your end. And in alignment with the next point, which is our user and role management, we can guarantee that those users or that end customers, or you also as a partner, can only see your dedicated resource, your dedicated data, and everything is really focused when we go on in an isolated data storage. So no other customer would see any of your data. So this is something that we guarantee. No end user can see data of any other end user. And depending on the different roles that they have, so we're still going with our administrator, with the users and the viewer, they can only see what is dedicated for them. So before we go on to the demonstration in our control center, there are some things that I want to mention to this multi-tenancy as well. So how will this affect you as a partner? So basically, as I mentioned before, the big benefit is that actually we can hold our prices. We can in future have staged rollouts, and also the update process will be seamless in future. So this is one of the first steps that we have. Your control center will be reachable by a different URL. So we all combine them together, and you will then see your specific usage, your specific control centers, your specific end user control centers and instances, and so on. No worries, we will come back to you, and we will contact you from our end proactively to give you access to them and to really do a staged rollout of this specific feature that we now have newly. And last but not least, there are some changes in the API, which might be some breaking changes, but it's mainly just a small change in the tokens that are generated for APIs when you're using it. And we already started to reach out to the first partners when they're using an API, and we will give you some more details in our documentation, which is already online, and also when we are contacting you proactively. Okay, so that was basically everything from a multi-tenancy perspective and also the features that we have for you. And now...
Perfect. My inner monk loves the cleanliness of the multi-tenancy feature.
Mine too. And now, as I promised, I will show you 2 things that changed in our control center. So as you can see, this is our demonstration control center. And the majority of you might be used to this tab being monitoring alerts. In order to have more transparency and also in future enhance this administration feature and this space for administration, we implemented different tabs here. So you still have your monitoring alerts that you set for yourself when something is offline, something is not operational, the camera is not reachable or whatever. And in addition to that, we now have our newly introduced license management. So you can here, so as an administrator, you can there see all your bought Swarm Perception subscriptions, so the stream licenses that you have, with the order number, with the invoice number corresponding to it, and the number of streams that you are able to use from and to this specific date. Here in the end, you can see that these 14 licenses are active. There might also be some inactive licenses where the license period will start in the future. So that means you have bought something, we are maybe in the production phase, or we are delivering the devices, or you want to start a license later on. And the third thing is expired licenses. So you will then see immediately when something is expired, we will contact you for any renewal. And here you can see that we're currently using in our demonstration 14 out of the 14 licenses that are active. By the way, of course, you can filter if you want just to see your active licenses or something like that. And to showcase you what happens if you're using more than your 14 licenses, we can go into, let me maybe go to a bigger one, to the parking demonstration. When you're adding a camera here, which we just named test camera, which is somewhere located. And you might be used to our standard IP for the cameras when we are delivering it to you. No worries, there will not pop up a camera now. It's just to show you that we have a pop-up here whenever the licenses are exceeded. It might happen in the phase when we are really migrating you to this new feature, that we still need a little bit of time internally to approve the license that we already have in there. So we now moved all your invoices to a specific database, which gives you a transparency here in the administration license manager feature. And you can immediately see that we are now using 15 out of 14 licenses. And you need to check your licenses, disable streams, or we will contact you to buy another license which you are going to use for a specific stream. As I told you before, there will be a second improvement in our control center. And of course, there is one. When we now go to, where is it there? Our test camera that I just added, I will just, for the sake of completeness, delete it to show you that this message will disappear immediately when you are just using the streams that you bought from our site. Okay, what else do we have? Second thing that changed on request of a partner from our site is that you can see now when you are in the camera settings, you can immediately see the device name, the device ID, the camera name, and the camera ID, in order to be more efficient and really faster when you are configuring your scenes and to see whatever you're currently doing there. It's just a small feature, but I'm sure that you will benefit from that. And yeah, as I told you before, we are always happy to receive feedback Whenever you see something is not working as expected, or whenever you want to have a new feature, please just contact us and we will be happy to take this into consideration. Yeah, that was a short demonstration of our control center. I think I did not miss anything.
I don't think so.
Let's go back to the presentation whenever I can find it. Put that up.
There it is. Perfect.
And go on. And I would like to hand over to you, Nina.
Thank you very much.
Q&A session now.
We received already some first questions. Okay. Regarding the new tram detection. So trams have different colors, lengths, appearance, etc., true, in different cities. How is it ensured that there is no confusion with, for example, buses?
So thank you for your question. It's the same with all the other classes that we have. When we can also differentiate between cars and vans. So it's just a matter of training. It's just a matter of annotation. It's just a matter of labeling in our models. So that means we are working closely together with one of our partners where we received a lot of trams videos, where there are also tram videos online, which we really labeling, which we are training, which we are testing then in the end. So others, but yeah, let's not go into that detail. And this is how we are building our models. So different colors, lengths, and appearances, our model learns different colors, lengths, and appearances because we are just giving them a tram. As being said before, it's just an early availability feature, which we are trying to enhance. And I think I can combine this also with another question that appears up here. What accuracy do we have in the new classes? We are not going to launch any new class when we are not reaching the 95% that we are promising in our documentation. So you can see our online documentation where we already updated the new classes, where we already updated the accuracy of our features, let's say. So for now, we can guarantee a 95% accuracy also for scooters and trams. As being said, we are going to label more trams and get more data into our model to be more accurate in future as well. So the 95% in our specifications are always guaranteed when we're reaching them.
Thank you very much. Another question reached me regarding the sub-instances. When you mention flexible sub-instances for different user groups, how does this work in practice? Can you provide examples of user groups and how they would access dedicated control centers?
Okay, maybe let me jump back to this picture because I think it's a good overview. So first of all, the users stay the same. We have an administrator that can view all the transparency features in the administration, that can do the configuration of the specific use cases and scenarios that you have in your control center. Then we have users and viewers, and they have dedicated possibilities to view specific things. This will stay the same. In the flexible sub-instances, we can give one specific person access to with a specific role. And this is something that guarantees that they can only see what they are dedicated to. I think that was everything.
I guess so, yes. I hope this is clearer now. Another thing related to multi-tenancy, when do you roll out multi-tenancy?
We already started with some of our partners, depending on how many devices you have and what services you're using, because as I mentioned before, there is a change in the API. We have a staged rollout. So for now, it's just an early availability feature, which ensures that with our next release in November, we have multi-tenancy ready. We have a seamless update process. We have everything that we want to achieve with the multi-tenancy feature and all the benefits that we want to give you with that. So we will contact you whenever you are ready and you really want to have it now, because, for example, you have a new city as a customer which really wants to have access to our dashboards, then you can always come to us. And whenever we are in the sales process, we will also guarantee that this can be done, or that you can have multi-tenancy whenever you need it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And because you mentioned API, maybe this question works well now. Where can I find a description of the mentioned breaking changes in the API? Good question.
So basically, in our documentation, you should be already used to our What's New section, where we always document whatever is new. And there, the first part is really the breaking changes, what changes there. So just to mention it in brief, there are some changes in the data format. There are, of course, the changes with the new classes, which is independent from the API, but is also something that should be mentioned here. And the keys that you get provided from our end, that you might have implemented in third-party applications and resources, that change a little bit because our architecture in general changed a little bit. So we have a documentation online where we have all the general changes, and whenever you are using the API, we will send you dedicated information, what changes on your end, and we will also guarantee and help you throughout the process to change everything that is needed there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. One more question regarding future plans. So are there any projects planned regarding detections such as cargo bikes or something? So I guess this is finally a question I'm able to answer, because as Verena already mentioned previously, it's kind of comparable to the new tram class, I would say. It's always super important, or we are always happy to receive feedback or wishes. If you are in need of any new classes, we can always talk about it and see what we can do in the training field and so on. So we are always happy to receive feedback. And if you need specific cases or use cases or classes, please contact us and our colleagues from sales engineering, and we will have a chat about it. No problem at all. And there's some typing happening in the chat window, so I will just let you type because I have another question. Regarding the experiments on model accuracy insights, could you share some examples of the insights gained and how they will contribute to future evolvements of the software?
Okay.
That's a long question.
No, but to be honest, I prepared something because I thought that this question will come. So basically, our engineers are working in experiments. That means with different augmentations of different scenes. So we tried specific weather conditions whenever it is foggy, when it's raining, when there is snow, when there is something happening on the lens of the camera, and so on. And we identified where we have areas where we need to improve. So, for example, we identified that the different scaling of cars, the different scaling of vehicles, or the different scaling of whatever we are detecting might be an influence on the accuracy, and we already improved that there. So this is something that we are continuously doing, but at the moment of time, we improved our accuracy values a lot. So also in different scenes that are besides our standard scenes and whatever we have. And this is something that we will keep on going. And let me check if I forgot something. Yeah, it's just software's robustness and reliability, also to bring it to you and to give you the possibility to have more accuracy in your specific use cases and scenarios.
Thank you for that detailed answer. And we got a new question. Are you looking at detection of use of seatbelt or using cellular phones?
To be honest, this is something that we are not looking into, because it's kind of enforcement. It's kind of are really looking into the car. You need to have different camera angles, and in the end, it has just a little to do with what we want to achieve. So to really detect vehicles, to detect as much as possible, to be as accurate as possible. And we don't want to go into this enforcement phase while using seatbelts and cellular phones.
Yeah, I would agree. Also, the inner part of the car is
The inner part of the car is especially
tricky.
when we are looking into EU regulations and everything, something that we don't want to tackle, or how many people are currently in the car or something like that. We really want to focus on vehicles and on things that are on the road and that are happening on the road. And I hope this answered the question.
Same here. All right. This was the last one. So I guess we are done for today, kind of, with the live demo. Depending on if you have more questions, then please type now. Otherwise, you can, of course, always contact us if you think of a question at a later point. We all know our brains. Sometimes it takes a while. You can always reach us. There's some typing happening. Of course, you know our emails and so on. As usual, this video, this live webinar has been recorded. So I will upload it later to YouTube. And in case you want to share it with your partners, customers, clients, colleagues, you are always free to do so, of course. Oh, thank you. It's just nice feedback for a nice online live demo. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you for participating. It's always a pleasure doing those demos together with you. And I would say, have a nice day and see you next time.
Thank you, and see you next time.